Whenever you're ready. What's going on, everyone? Nick and Barrel, Steph Martinez. We're back after a couple day hiatus. We're gonna be talking some Mets. Steve Cohen hiring Sandy Alderson. He is back with the Mets in a front office role. We're talking Jets. What should they do? What's their future gonna look like? A lot of Jet drama. Baseball playoffs are almost here, right? They're about a week away. Teams are clinching divisions, clinching playoff spots. A top 5 list that's pretty intriguing. Top 5 game day meals, which, I mean, going to be an amazing list because, we all love food, right? So,
two fat boys, It's only right.
We're going to have a guest, too, on the show in about 15 minutes. Elijah's going to join us. We're going to talk about his teams with him. That should be fun. He's a regular viewer of the show and comments on everyone who's on right now. Hey, how are you? So who's ever watching, comment, like, subscribe, share the video with others. Share it so other people can see us. What's going on, man? How are you?
I am good, man. Busy just trying to get these last minute notes in and things done and just talking some stuff over with you before we went on the air here. But I wanna touch on something with you real quick, and I want your response to this. So Sandy Alderson is rumored to be the choice that Steve Cohen is going with to be the president of the New York Mets, to be president of baseball operations and president of business operations. I have no issue with that. For those that don't know, Sandy spent 8 seasons with the Mets from 2010 to 2018, which included 2 trips to the playoffs and a trip to the World Series in 2015.
Yep.
Here's my question, though, and here's the question that I pose to you. We know Sandy knows what he's doing. He can handle the market. He clearly has a good baseball sense. He understands what he needs to do. And with Steve Cohen's money, it shouldn't be a problem because we all know this guy is, when you spend $2.5 billion on your favorite team, you got money to blow, as Drake once said. But here's the question I have for you, because I'm very curious on your thoughts on this particular aspect. Okay. I don't necessarily believe it's a bad hire. I think it's a good hire. Yeah. It's a good start, as we said in the group chat. My question is, who is he going to hire to be his general manager? Who's going to be the guy that Sandy says, okay, I'm entrusting the GM duties to you. I'm entrusting the scouting duties to you. I'm putting this all on your shoulders. I came up with 3 names, and their resumes are kind of lofty. So bear with me one moment.
You're going to be a baseball journalist on us right now is really what you mean.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So the first name that I came up with is Cleveland Indians general manager Mike Chernoff. Mike Chernoff has been in the Cleveland organization for the past 10 years. Mike Chernoff has overseen the drafts of trades of Corey Kluber, the draft of Francisco Lindor, the draft of Mike Clevenger, who was just traded to the Padres, Zach Plesac, Shane Bieber, who are all there now. Great, outstanding pitchers. Their staff is ridiculous. We understand that. Their staff might be the reason why they may be one of the favorites to come out of the American League. That's one guy. He's done a lot. He also was involved in the trade of Trevor Bauer, the drafting of Trevor Bauer, but the trade of Trevor Bauer, which brought them Franmil Reyes, who's a big part of the middle of their lineup, and other pieces as well. The other 2 guys are somewhat intriguing to me. The first guy is the White Sox general manager, Rick Hahn, who has also built that team in Chicago. You got guys like Eloy Jimenez, who's a star, who's in his second year. They're about to have back-to-back Rookie of the Year winners. Eloy Jimenez last year and Luis Robert this year. That's back-to-back. Oh, by the way, they've traded for guys like Yo Moncada, who had Rookie of the Year potential, but had some ups and downs his rookie season, but who's solid. You got a guy like Nick Madrigal, who's probably the everyday second baseman. This guy's insane. So what I'm saying basically is the names I'm throwing out, you may not know unless you're a hardcore baseball fan, but go look up those guys. Go look up their numbers. Go look up their pedigree. It's pretty insane. Rick Hahn and Kenny Williams, who was the president of baseball operations, they've done a lot together. They've drafted well. They've done well. The third guy, and they know how to build an organization. That's what you want. That's what Sandy needs to bring in here. It's not so much, yes, Steve Cohen has the money to get any free agent he wants. But you and I both know that if you want to build a successful team in any sport, you have to draft really well, and you have to put players and coaches in position to do so. The last name may make your stomach turn a little bit, but it makes sense if you're looking at it from this point of view. Damon Oppenheimer, Yankees head scout, has been with the Yankees since '88. Oversaw the trades of Torres. He was in the organization when they drafted Jeter, Bernie, Posada. He's been there for a while. He's been there almost 30 years. That guy, he's been the lead player development guy for the Yankees since 2001. So with that said, those three names are very qualified to do what the Mets are looking for. First off, you have to rebuild the minor league system, which I've said for years, but you also have to build a rapport with, number one, whoever the manager is, and you have to build a rapport with Sandy. Right. So this is my question for you. With all the names that I've thrown out there, and I have a few more, but I don't think, I don't think those names necessarily mean all that much in the grand scheme of things. But what I will say is, with those three names I just mentioned to you, what sticks out to you in your mind? Like, what do you take away from all this?
I mean, the guy who's been with the Yankees for 30 years and was their head scout.
Yeah.
I mean, that right there should tell you everything. Yeah. Just basically off the success that the Yankees have had for the past years.
Right.
I mean, how can you not go with him if he decides to leave the Yankees or however that's going to work out? The guy from the Indians, the Indians have been good, but
for a while now. Yeah.
They have. But I mean, the fact that he oversaw all those
drafts.
I mean, yeah, that seen developed all those players and players that gave me nightmares for years as a Met fan.
I'll say this: if you want Frankie to be the linchpin of you spending money now, Chernoff would be the guy I hire, because Chernoff has connections with Frankie. Chernoff knows him well. He drafted him. He signed him out of Puerto Rico to his first his first contract. So Chernoff's been around. He's seen a lot, and he kind of knows the lay of the land. And that's what I kind of want. If you're a Met fan, you kind of want the reassurance that whoever's going to take this seat has the experience to say, all right, I can take this on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You kind of want that, because then you don't want to look at it and go, damn, did we hire the right guy? Did we make the right decision? And I was talking to Emilio earlier today, and he said to me, I said to him, you know who they should hire as manager? Don Mattingly. And he paused and he said, wow, that would be sick. Don Mattingly managing the Mets would be insane. And I said, but if you think about it, although they may keep Rojas because Rojas has been in the organization for years, but Donnie just has this sense of I'm going to get the most out of my players, and I would want somebody that I know knows how to handle the city. Mattingly's played; he was a Yankee for like forever.
Long time.
Yeah, he was the Yankee bench coach. He was also in position to get the Yankee job. He managed in LA, which isn't the easiest job. He was sandwiched between Joe Torre and David Roberts, their current manager. And he did a good job with the Dodgers. They just couldn't get over the proverbial hump. But the Mets have a lot of options right now. You're in a very good spot. I know this season sucks because you missed the playoffs again, and the roster wasn't constructed all that well, and we know that. But I mean, there should be some optimism because your owner has more money than should be allowed to any human being. But you're all right. Let me put this in quotations. Your potential owner, the presumptive owner.
Yeah, can't jinx it just yet. And another thing too, a lot of Met fans I remember would always knock Sandy, but I think he always wanted to do more, wanted to get more players, but again,
he couldn't. Look at what, bro. You know, and I know that Sandy would have done way more if he was given the opportunity to do more. That's why with Cohen at the helm, I want to see what Cohen allows him to do. What's his first order of, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what I'm going to get. I'm going to give you free reign, Sandy. I'm not going to interfere. Yeah, I'm not going to interfere with anything that you have going on. So if he allows Sandy to do his thing and he doesn't interfere with Sandy Alderson, I give the Mets maybe 2 years. And then you should be in the conversation for probably, if not the best team in the National League, the best team in baseball. I give it about 2-3 years. Because Sandy's a smart guy. The question, though, is who does he sign? First of all, who's his GM? What does his front office look like? How many analytical people are in the front office? And worst comes to worst, who's your first free agent signing? Because Cespedes was great for the year and for the half a season that it worked out, and then it all went to where. But I'm fascinated with the idea that this guy is going to be able to remake your front office. Now, I understand people have had questions. Why would the Mets go back to him? Why would they make this move all over again? Why would you go back to Sandy if you know the pedigree? Listen, Sandy did a good job. It's just that ownership didn't allow him to finish off the job that he's done. So I think that's the key thing, too. We can sit here and say, oh, what type of GM was Sandy Alderson? But you even said it. If the Wilpons stopped being cheap and gave him the opportunity to make some moves, we might be looking a little bit different at this right now. It might be a different conversation. To be fair, be completely honest, it might be completely different. And in 2015, you remember this, Cespedes came over for like 2 months and lit up the world.
He did. David Wright got help. Remember his first at bat, home run at Citizens Bank.
Yep.
But Cespedes was on an absolute tear. I mean, my God.
He was an absolute beast. So what I'm saying is, if that is what we have to look forward to, and that type of maneuvering in your front office is what you have to pay attention to, that's pretty freaking good. That's pretty good. I just hope that they don't rush this. Let it build. Don't rush it. Don't say, oh, because he got more money, let's just spend the money crazy. I don't think that that's a wise idea. I just hope that it's well thought out and that you don't rush this, because at the end of the day, you and I both know when you rush things, it doesn't turn out very well.
No. And you've been saying this I always want the Yankees to be bad, even though, let's face it, they never will be. but you always want both New York teams to be great at the same time. Just for the city, for the fans of both teams, and
for you, not for you. I want to be able to come on the show and go, "Hey, buddy, how excited were you for your boys last night?" I want you to have that moment, like, because it sucks when you can't, when you're rooting for your boys and your boys don't come through, and you're feeling like, another lost year. Because how many times have me and you argued? Oh, this is a lost year for us. We suck.
yeah, it's aggravating.
So you already know what it is. Like, you know what it is. But if I have selfish reasons, okay? I want you guys to be good so that you can not fall in love with the sport, because that's never going to happen. You're too far down the road.
We already had that conversation, but
I mean, at least when the playoffs start in October and your boys are, scratching and clawing, you might be able to say, "Hey, let's go win a championship. Let's go be in contention. Let's go, upset somebody's party. Let's be as good as the Yankees." Because I'm gonna tell you something, with the amount of money that they're putting into this they will put into this franchise.
They could be the talk of the town the next few years.
Right. And look, it's going to be, I don't know, listen, it's going to be stiff competition, because I said this to Emilio. Your first couple years, you're going to have to prove that you know how to win. You're going to have to prove that you understand what it takes to be a successful organization. So with that said, unless they automatically assume, hey, we're gonna outspend everybody, because that could work too, but it doesn't work all the time. And my key would be, okay, we're spending money. We understand that. But look at what happened with the Yankees all those years. You got Giambi, you got this one, you got that one. They didn't win a championship. They signed Mussina, Giambi, Damon, Matsui, Randy Johnson. They signed all those guys in all those years. Didn't win anything.
That's pretty crazy, though, if you think about it.
But that just goes to show you, money isn't everything. Money helps. Money's important. It's nice to have, but it doesn't win everything. And like you said, and you made this point years ago, and this is why I love you, because you don't hide it. You're a Met fan, and you're unapologetic in your Met fandom. I'm a bigger Yankee hater than a Met fan. And honestly, that's what it's been for the last couple of years. That's honestly what it's been since you've been a Met fan. But without further ado, let's welcome on our guest.
What's up, Elijah?
Thanks for hopping on, man.
What's up, fellas? What's up?
How's it going?
Thank you guys for
having me. What's going on, man?
Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you for hopping on, man. Appreciate it. Everybody's good, man. Can't complain. Your screen kind of froze though there for a second. Hello? But nah, we hear you. But your screen is kind of frozen. But
my screen is up. I have to go upstairs. Yeah, what's up? What's up? How you guys doing?
Really good, man. What about you?
Everybody's good, man. How are you?
Good.
I see.
I'm good. I can't complain. Yeah,
that's good, man. I see you got them scrubs on. What do? You're a first responder or a nurse? What?
No. I work at a cardiology office right now. And I'm just working, during this crazy time. But can't complain.
That's
good. Thank you for doing what you're doing, man.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for doing what you're doing, man.
Yeah. So how you guys doing now? Everything's good?
Everything is great, man. Everything is great. But we got some questions for you.
Oh yeah, no problem. Let me just turn my light real quick. I'm sorry, I'm just moving around. My bad.
Stop! Don't start.
Oh, here we go. Nah, I knew that was gonna come. We can talk about that later. We're gonna talk about that later.
Yes, we got to bring that up. But
yeah, no, we do.
I'm gonna have to put you through the ring on that one because that's just unacceptable.
No.
Um,
It's a funny story actually. It's a really funny story. Actually, it is.
oh,
It is.
interesting. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So Big Dog was filling me in. You're an Indianapolis Colts,
Yeah.
New York Ranger.
Yeah. I'm all over the place. I'll agree to that.
Listen, man. Speaking of all over the place, we got AJ,
Yeah.
who's a Nugget Met
Yeah.
Ranger
Hey, I
fan.
mean,
Over
So
two.
it works.
Dallas, New
It
York,
works. It
Denver.
works. It works for
yeah,
anybody.
man.
So
Well, I root for the Brown. I'm a Brown Nick Yankee. I'm
Duke.
not a big
I'm
hockey fan
over
yet.
two a little
Duke,
bit.
yeah,
yeah,
I'm all
man.
over the map. I love Duke. Coach K is like my he's like
Yeah. Yeah. AJ's funny.
the sensei, but
Yeah. I mean, I'm a Duke fan too because my sister went to Duke, so I mean, I had to rep him. So that's what it is.
Okay.
see
So
now
I had to go to Duke. So I had to rep Duke because
we
my sister went there.
that's what
So
I'm talking about. We can bond now, but nah, man. What do you?
yeah,
I mean, you're a Colts fan, so let's start with football.
yeah.
Football's in season. What do you think
Um,
about your first two games, man?
it's all right. I can't complain. I hate the injuries. I hate that Mag is gone and Hook is gone. Hooker is gone. Malik
Mm-hmm.
Hooker. I
Mm-hmm.
felt like what the thing about it I didn't understand was that Malik Hook actually is in his final contract with the Colts, and
Oh wow.
to have this, and I think him and the GM were going back and forth with his contract. He wanted his contract. He
Mm-hmm.
wanted like a nice signature, but our GM is kind of a pushy guy, like Chris Balder. He's a great GM. I
Mm-hmm.
think he drafted great
Chris
players.
Ballard, yeah. Chris Ballard, yeah.
Yeah, he
Right.
drafted Jonathan Taylor, which I was surprised. I thought that he was going to be a
Right.
first rounder earlier.
Mm-hmm.
He drafted a pretty good like defensive team. I like that he got Buckner from like the 49ers. I think that was a
Like the
great.
first Buckner, yeah.
Yeah, we needed a defensive front line because I just feel like the team that we had last year was just horrible. Um, okay, Philip Rivers, I don't know.
What do you
One
think
year,
about that addition?
I wasn't feeling it, bro. I really wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
1 year, 25 million. That's a lot. But Philip
Mm-hmm.
Rivers, he's an interception dude, and he's he's not in his prime no more like he used to.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought we
Mm-hmm.
should have like at least tried to go for someone younger at least. Like what I was hearing, like the rumors that I was hearing that I heard that like because I heard Derek Carr and thing wasn't going well with the Raiders, but then I heard that he possibly I wouldn't mind Derek Carr because he's younger, but his contract is ridiculous, and I
Yeah.
don't think the Colts
Yeah, but
wanted to pay.
he's putting up numbers in
Now
Oakland
they
right
too
now.
low.
He is, and I
Yeah,
feel like
the Giants.
if he does not like deliver, I think Gruden's going to get rid of him, and I think the coach should pick him up just to give him like
That's
a.
great.
I think the coach should, but it's just I think this whole free agency like with quarterbacks is just hard. I mean, I knew that Tom Brady was not going to come to the Colts.
No.
That's just crazy. That was never going to happen. I did like Brissett, but he just wasn't the leader for us. I feel like we are
Here's why I
still.
tell you. Here's why I tell you I don't think that's a bad idea. You give him
Mhm.
Philip Rivers what you paid him. 1 year, 25 million. It's a lot of money, but it's a
But
year,
do you think
right?
25 million is worth it? Do you think 25 million is worth it for a
For
39-year-old
for a
player?
year, for a year, for a guy
That's
that's
just
just
a
looking to
lot.
get his. It's a lot of money, but think about this. It's a year. So after the year's up, you're done. And
Yeah.
depending on what your record is and where you end up, you can always sign a guy like say for example, Tyrod Taylor comes back healthy and Tyrod Taylor is not
Yeah.
the quarterback of the Chargers next year because they like Justin the kid what is his name?
Justin
Yeah.
Herbert.
Hubert?
Just a Herbert.
Herbert.
Yeah, he's good.
So let's say the Chargers like Justin Herbert, and you say
Hmm.
I got a chance to go sign Tyrod Taylor for
Yeah.
a 2-3 year contract, who's still young, who still has some escapability, who still has a nice arm. You could do that. You could go in that direction. I think Teddy Bridgewater could be another option for you, depending on how things go in Carolina. If Carolina
True.
locks him up to a long term deal, so
Hmm.
you have options in terms of your quarterback position. Are they the sexy options that everybody wants? Not necessarily, but the problem is I don't think you're going to be bad enough to draft a QB high in the first round. Like you would have to be really, really bad in order for that to happen. Like the Jets, they're going to be that bad. And I'm not trying to crap on you, big dog. I'm just saying that's
I mean,
kind of
we are.
where
Let's face it, we're only gonna win. It's looking like maybe only 2 games. I don't know.
the way this idiot coaches, if that.
I think
No,
your
so
Colts are gonna beat the Jets. I think you guys are beating us Sunday. I mean,
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Philip Rivers doesn't have like a really bad day. I mean, I don't know because that dude, he's
I
like
mean,
bipolar.
hey,
I
He's
thought
bipolar though.
with the team you guys have, I thought it was an interesting. Like I didn't expect it to get Philip.
Yeah, me
You
either.
guys to get Philip Rivers.
I thought he was retiring, but then next, I heard him and our head coach are really good friends because they play. They both work together in San Diego. That's why I think why he went there. But I mean, it is what it. Andy Dalton. I don't know about that. Don't even try to talk about Andy Dalton. That's another thing coming. Like I don't even want to hear about Andy Dalton. But I don't know.
you
I
know
feel
what
like
would have been
I
an
mean
interesting option for
you
you
have to wait.
guys if he was healthy?
Mhm.
I really like Joe Flacco in that spot. If Joe Flacco didn't have the
Yeah.
neck problems,
Honestly,
I would have
would've went
thought
with
Joe
Cam
Flacco.
Newton.
And he's on the
Cam
Jets.
Newton.
But that would have been a good option for the Colts.
I would have went with Cam Newton. Like honestly, I thought Cam Newton would have been fine. I thought that would have been a really big upgrade. Like I'm just surprised like all these teams like just let Cam Newton just like act like he's washed up. But then you give all these other guys like these options. I mean I understand, but I was literally going for Cam Newton. I was like, if we get Cam Newton, I would think that would be a nice upgrade. And plus the O line that we have and how good it is, like I mean top 10 O line in the league, that's pretty good. I mean, it sucks that it's not Andrew Luck, but I mean, hey, I moved on from it. But I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, we'll see what happens this season. But I mean, other than that, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a big Philip Rivers fan, but I mean, if he does it and he does if he has a very good season and gets us to the playoffs, then I think it would.
Let's say you go 9-7. I'm just saying. I'm not saying you go 9-7, but let's just say for hypothetical purposes.
And there is that 7th seed now. So
let's say for example you go 8-8, you make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right. Philip Rivers did his job just getting you to the playoffs because the roster necessitates you're not really you weren't supposed to be that good anyway. And now I know a quarterback helps you, but here we go. Andy Dalton spent his entire career behind bad teams. Rivers spent his entire career with most talented team. That's a good point. San Diego has some squads. You had LT. You had
Antonio Gates.
Gates.
He had the players. He had the players.
Sean Merriman.
I wouldn't be surprised. But I mean, how long do you think Phil Rivers is gonna still go on for?
I think he got a year. I think he got a year, and then
maybe 2, maybe one more this year, and then after this year, and then that's
1 or 2. Yeah, I can't see him.
Yeah, that's it. I can't see him being like Brady and Breeze and be like, I can do this for another.
That guy's he's a machine.
And look, Drew Brees look semi-human. So, now granted, he's 41 years old, so I wouldn't expect anything different. But how do you feel about the Rangers getting the number 1 pick this year? Let's just dive into your hockey team.
I'm happy as heck. I mean, it is what it is. I like the young core that we have. I just feel like we just need maybe another veteran defender to help out. But other than that, I mean, I'm not saying the Rangers ain't gonna win like the next 2 or 3 years. Maybe next 5 years. Like you win a Stanley Cup. Not maybe 2, but 5 years at least. I mean, you still have Panarin, you still got Zibanejad, and
it's going to take a few years, but they're definitely building something there. And John Davidson running the team.
I'm saying they can be a true contender in the next, I would say, 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years.
I think that's fair.
A good 3 to 5 years, I would say. I mean, I would not be surprised if we get killed the next 2 seasons or 3. I wouldn't be upset.
And you have 2 solid young goaltenders, which is huge in today's NHL.
I'm gonna say this too, and I love Lundqvist, but I think it's time to go.
He has to either retire or
honestly,
they have to trade him.
And I feel like if he gets traded, you're gonna go on the bench, and no one's gonna pay $7 million for a 39-year-old. This is just like Philip Rivers. They don't want to pay all that money just to try to see. Like, I mean, I feel like our two goalies we should keep them and ride with them.
I didn't do it.
And that's it.
AJ, you got knocked out in the qualifying round, so don't even start the smack talk. If that's
Islanders doing this.
I didn't do it.
I don't talk nothing. I don't talk smack about the Islanders no more. I let it ride.
I didn't do it.
And the other thing too is a lot of teams around the league. If you look, not too many teams need a goalie. I mean, they have.
Yeah.
Now maybe they can use Lundqvist as a backup, and then have that two goalies.
But it's just like I just feel like he's just gonna take up too much space and he's gonna take up too much cap room. Like, get rid of him and then we can just, do our own thing. Let us, like, go on the front office, be fine with it. Like, I just feel like it's time to go. It's time to hang it up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's time. Like, yo, we can't be paying you $7 million for you to get to get watched by dudes. Like, it's different now. You're not 30. I mean, if you were like 34, 35, then okay, all right, maybe we can like see what we.
Right.
But you have the time. You can't sit up here and be like, oh, you know what? I got the number 1 pick, and then we got this kid. I mean, who knows?
What's up, Big John? How are you, man?
This dude might not even pick this guy. So who even knows? So, but
they're picking him number 1. That's almost
they
a
would
foregone
be stupid to pass up on this because this. I'm watching highlights of this kid, and this kid looks really.
He
reminds me like a young Sidney Crosby. Like, he has a Crosby and McDavid like mentality. So I feel like adding him with Capo Caco, I think our future is really bright. But Lundqvist, I think it's time to hang him up because it's just what it is. Yeah, go Devils. I mean, hey, Jack Hughes. I mean, don't sleep on him either. But
hey, listen,
I just feel like
look. I tell you this: New York hockey's in a very good sport. Hockey in the tri-state area is
even with the
spot.
Devils. The Devils
got a whole bunch of young guys. Like,
the most
and I gotta tell you,
sport.
Yeah, I said the Metro League is the most hardest, I think the toughest division out of anything in the NHL. Like, you got the Capitals, you got the Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's going down sooner or later. They just got rid of Hornquist. So I mean, like, what else are you gonna do? And then they're getting old. Philly's coming up big. The Islanders are doing their thing. Columbus is doing their thing. You got New Jersey on them. And then you got the Rangers. So, like,
see, the thing about I'm gonna tell you this: they're all young, right? But I look at the Islanders and I'm like, yo, this is their window. If you want to win a championship, you got to do it
right now to win in the next few years.
Yeah, your window is like 2 years flat. You got to win it in 2 years. Because
2 or 3
I don't know
years,
where Lou's.
I give him 2 or 3 years.
The reason why I say 2 years is because I don't know if Lou signs an extension. I don't know if he keeps going. I don't know what his plans are. So while Lou's
honestly,
in your front office, I'd say.
My opinion on that is I feel like the
I say 3 years.
Pay Lou as much as you can because this man has done his job.
Oh yeah,
right.
He's done his job.
No, I don't even myself.
Keep him there. Listen, I was saying the same thing about Jeff Gordon, our GM, but then this dude turned around and just did his job. So you know what? If he's doing the job and he's getting the right people and the right coaching in, then do it. But I feel like our Rangers coach, I gave him maybe 2 more years. If he doesn't do anything serious, then I think he's going to get the boot. But he's still a great coach. But coaching in any league is hard. If you have a rough season, then you're going to get booted. Right. So it's just it is what it is. But I definitely think that the New York City hockey, their teams are glowing up. New York City is going to be buzzing.
The division is interesting. Now Peter Laviolette in DC. Pittsburgh, I can see them maybe going down in a few years, but I still see them as an elite team. You still have Crosby.
Yeah. Same with the Capitals too. I definitely think with
Mike
the Capitals
Sullivan is
they're still very good.
Their GMs willing to do anything just to have them improve because they got eliminated. Islanders swept them last year. This year, you lost to the Canadians. So
I thought it was right to fire the coach because you got beat both times in the Eastern Conference the first round and it's time for you to go. Come on, there's something that players are not adding up. But also, getting older. Crosby's getting older. Next, this is other younger teams like Philly, the Islanders, and Rangers to be all right, listen, They got maybe
Yeah.
2, maybe 5 more years left in them, and then next we can take over. So I like where the Rangers are going. So I mean, whatever happens, happens. I mean, there's a lot of Rangers fans out there think, oh, we're gonna win the cup next year or something like you're crazy. Don't get crazy. Like we still got like 21-year-olds playing, so like we're not that great yet. We still have to. We have a great player in Panarin, which I thought that was the greatest sign that I think we ever did. And I think that he's gonna even elevate him and Sabanajad, and then and we still got Kreider. So I mean, hey, like,
look, I'll say this before we move on to your Red Sox Yankee fraudulence, because that's
I got a couple of songs.
Yeah, yo, I gotta say this.
But
yeah.
Go ahead, Steph.
I'm curious to know. I think I would sign a couple veterans, and the 2 names that come to mind are, if you can get a guy like, let's say, for instance, I know Joe Thornton's probably not going to do this because he's comfortable on the West Coast. If Joe Thornton still wants to play, if I'm the Rangers, just to have a veteran presence in the locker room, I'd sign him. I'd sign a couple other veterans just to get some veteran presence in there, because you don't want to be all young, because then you have a bunch of core guys that are just young. Big Dog, who are some veterans that you would look at if you're the Rangers to sign to put around these younger guys?
Well, I mean, that's tough because there's a lot of these veterans get injured a lot too. I mean, Joe Thornton wouldn't be a bad idea, but also it's like, what type of line would he fit in? Because he's old, and like we have these young guys running around and just doing that stuff. I mean, I would not be. I think more of it. I think we need more of a defenseman more than like offensive player. We need like a older defenseman. But I don't know. Actually, I'm trying to think. A lot of defensemen want money, but the only thing about it, a lot of players want money. They want their money. They want to get paid, and it's like I don't think the Rangers have like enough cap space because we still don't know what the whole thing about Lundqvist is going to happen, because that's still taking a while. So you don't know what's going to happen. So I mean, if you do get rid of Lundqvist, you do save about $8.5 million. So then, I mean, you can at least get somebody like a top six defender in that at least like someone that can like go with a player that is, because I think it's time to get rid of Mark Stahl. I've been saying this for a long time. Mark Stahl is garbage. I've been saying it for a long time, but we never get rid of him. I don't know why, because his contract is ridiculous. I mean, we'll see. But I would love to get Pietrangelo, but that's not happening. Pietrangelo's going to ask for a lot of money, but that's not happening.
I know Toronto is definitely going to call him up because he's from the area.
Yeah, Toronto's
signing him back, and they desperately need defensive help.
They're desperate. They needed.
I'm hearing that Pittsburgh's in play for him.
I'm not shocked.
I'm hearing
that would be some pair.
Listen, if I'm the Rangers, go for it. Sign him. You know?
But I mean, but
it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, but his.
No, go ahead.
Jim Dolan's rich. Jim Dolan is rich. He got the money. Number 2, your hockey
and I've
people.
Always said this. Sorry to cut you off, but I always said this. I think Jim Dolan loves the Rangers more than he loves the Knicks, because he gets the free agents in the Rangers. It's crazy. He got Artemi Panarin, which I was like, how? How did you do it?
I wish it was the opposite.
I know. I thought he was gonna go to the Islands because they paid him more money. They offered him more money, but
we did.
He just said, "No, I just want to be in New York. I just
want to go to the Rangers." More about the Knicks and the Rangers, but
yeah, but I mean, whatever it is.
Man City. Do you see them as champions again this year, or can you see Liverpool repeating?
I mean, listen.
And how mad were you? Like, did you honestly expect Messi to come to Man City or no? Because for a few days it was kind of like, wow, he might actually end up. Just really.
Listen, I thought it was gonna happen, but I understand the reason why he didn't come, because listen, Man City's not gonna pay $700 million for a guy like who was on a free transfer. Like, let's all be honest here. he was on a free transfer, but Barcelona was beyond their bullshit and just saying, "Oh, But like it's true. Like you can't. I mean, listen. I still think Man City still have a great team,
Oh
regardless
yeah,
without him. And
star-studded
I mean,
team.
they need a defense. They need a solid defenseman to play with Laporte, because I feel like Laporte needs help. I feel like John Stones is still not there at his uh, elite. And I mean, I feel like we can do it. I just don't want to hear, "Oh, we're favorites for the Champions League," because that's just our curse. The title,
It
yeah,
seems
I
to
think
be
we do
that.
have a
Yeah.
shot, but we need to get another defender. I think they were trying to get some dude from Atletico Madrid, but then they denied it because they said the president was like, "We're not getting rid of him."
By the way,
And
you
they're trying
heard
to get some other guy.
Luis Suarez he's on Atletico now,
That is a big move.
which that should be interesting. But I was
I like
really
it. I like it.
imagine though Messi with Man City and then playing Liverpool in that high-powered offense. The goal,
That
Steph,
that would be like a that
but
would
even
be like
you, I
a
think, would be entertained by those
that
matches.
would that would have been like a documentary for me for the Last Dance, like Messi and Guardiola, like last time, just being like, "Yo, we're making a documentary." Like I would have made a documentary. I would spend all my money on that, just to be like, "Listen, I'm producing this this whole movie, or like this whole series about Messi coming to Man City, like the Last Dance of soccer edition." You know, but I mean, I still think that. I mean, the thing about it, I'm worried about is that I feel like if Man City does not win the league or the Champions League, then Guardiola is gonna go, and I do not want him to go. I feel like he's great
I
there.
wouldn't either.
I
They just
I
have to
feel I
worry
feel like
about getting as many points as possible just to really keep up with Liverpool, and they can't afford
yeah, but also
slip-ups.
listen, and you know what, and also I think too is that, you know what, I mean, what's scary too is that Sergio Aguero is still injured, and that's like kind of frightening to me. Like this dude has been injured for like a couple months now with his knee, and it's like he's getting older, and like he's not gonna be there. Kevin De Bruyne, they better pay him whatever they want. Raheem Sterling, I still love him. I think he's a great player.
He's
I love
awesome.
Phil Foden. Phil Foden is an amazing young talent, and we should definitely keep him. I feel like, but it just defensively, it's just like we just need that right. We need someone right by Laporte who can help him, and we
Right.
know that. Oh, you know what? Listen, all right, you got Van Gaal, cool. We got this dude right here, and then we trust him, so we know that our defense is good. So I feel like their defense. I mean, their first game they played well. They played a great. I mean, the offense is great. Um, they played great defensively. They only gave up one goal. We have a great goalie in Ederson. I feel like that's good. I think he's going to be there for a while. I think he was a great pickup, even though we spent a lot of money on him. But hey, it is what it is. But I mean, yeah, I do see us. I can see us winning it this year. But it's just Liverpool, or this Tottenham is there too. You can't let Tottenham go, and also you got to think about Chelsea. Like Chelsea, they got some
Chelsea is
they got some
dangerous,
pretty
I
young
think.
guys. Like
Chelsea, I think
you
Tottenham's
never know if they get on a run.
and Man
I'm
U,
more worried about
Man U at the
yeah,
end of
Man
the
U.
season,
But
they played really well.
I see the thing about Man, they I feel like they're just trying to like get to they're trying to they feel like they if they get the player from Borussia Dortmund, they feel like they're gonna beat. I don't know. I feel like they still need more pieces. I feel like Harry Maguire was a great pickup for them, but still, like he makes some crazy like mistakes on the
Yeah,
pitch. Like you guys losing to Crystal Palace the first game at Old Trafford, that's a wake up
that's a
call. Like
big loss
you
early
guys
in the
need
season.
you guys need to go out in the market and spend as much money as you can to like get players that
Yeah,
like
and it's still open the transfer window, so I could expect them
until October.
to do something
Yeah,
right.
so my hope is just I hope that Man City will get a really world class defender. Even though how much money that we have to spend on him, let's spend the money because if you guys want if the time for Pep is to win if you guys want Pep to win a Champions League, and you guys want to keep him there, you got to spend the money. And I know we spent billions of dollars on defensemen, which is ridiculous, but we got to do it. If we want to win that Champions League, we got to get players that we have to be like, all right, listen, we'll pay 100 million if we have to just to get this player. So I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting season. I mean, if Liverpool does win, I mean, I'm not gonna be surprised. But
Yeah, me neither.
I'm more focused. I'm more focused on the Champions League. I feel like this is our
That's
time
really,
that we
that's
have
the
to like go
trophy,
after
and
it.
that's why they brought Pep in. So
Yeah,
we'll see what
he
happens.
already won like 2 straight Premier League, so really like it doesn't really matter if he wins another one. I feel like everybody's gonna focus more on like, oh, we need a Champions League. He never got a Champions League, so I mean, we just need that. If we get that, then I feel like everything's great. I feel like Pep's staying there until like he's like 85. So hey, I don't mind it.
Stefan, you wanted to ask Elijah the big question. I think everyone's been waiting
Yeah.
for.
All right. Let's go. Let's go, man.
Because you're the
we're
Yankee.
gonna.
Well, the other Yankee fan
Yeah.
in this equation. So
Yeah.
I'm leaving that to
Yeah.
you.
Come on. Lay it on me, big
How?
brother. On me, bro.
How? That's what I'm gonna ask. Is how? I'm not gonna ask why. How?
How did it happen?
How did this? Yes. How did this happen?
All right. So
How'd you go
I'll
from?
tell you the story. Yeah, I'll tell you the story. So, listen, literally, baseball. I've been a bandwagon. I won't even lie to you since I was a kid. Like every hat, my dad used to get me hats, and I would be a fan of them. And I didn't even know who played on that team, so I would be a fan of them. But so I wasn't a big Yankees fan when I was younger. I don't know. I just hated them because they kept winning, and I was not having fun. But it's just it is what it is, and and then I think that year that they came back, um, when they lost to the Red Sox, when they did that whole comeback, I actually went for the Red Sox, and I was just like, oh, the Red Sox should win. And after that, I was a Red Sox fan for a little bit, and then I said, you know what, I'll be a Yankees fan. I don't know. It's weird. Like in high school, like yo, James and Nick used to make fun of me. They were like, "Why are you?
I don't know.
Whatever
Yeah, I don't
made
know.
you become?"
Your Yankee fandom's kind of. I don't know.
No, I
I
mean,
don't know.
after a while, I mean, once Jeter left, then that kind of hit me because I was a Derek Jeter fan, and
Mhm.
it was different. And
Neither
then
was
after
mine.
that, I was like, all right, cool. And then once I saw Judge and I saw this young core, Gary Sanchez and all of them, I was like, you know what, I can pull for them. And when they made that
Mhm.
run against the Astros when they cheated that year, and we all know they cheated, I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe they don't spend money this as much money as they did, and they went for they use their young players. They use the young players more than
I
spending
mean,
all
they're
their
still
money.
doing that outside of Garrett Cole.
Yeah,
When's the
yeah,
last time you seen the
yeah. No,
Yankees
of
spend
course.
some real
Well,
money? Like
we need to spend money to get Cole. No
but it's a
question there.
different. They're a different team now. They look at things analytically. They look at things through a different prism. So I'm kind of glad they haven't spent gazillions of dollars now. Was Garrett Cole worth it? Yeah, but that's the
Hmm.
price of doing business with a Scott Boras client when the Scott Boras client is at the top of the mountain, which is where Garrett
Yeah,
Cole
I
was
mean,
during his free agency period. But
yeah.
it just it's hard for me this year because I want to see what they do in the playoffs. This playoffs is going to feel very different compared to other playoffs with no fans, nobody in the building. It's gonna be a little bit different. So, um, I want to see what they do. But I've said this from the jump. I don't think the Yankees are getting to the World Series this year. I see teams that are better than them. I like the
Hmm.
Indians pitching staff better than them. I like Oakland better than the Yankees right now, strictly from a baseball standpoint. There are teams
Yeah,
out there that have deeper teams than the Yankees do. Now, if you're asking me as a Yankee fan, do I want them to make it? Of course, I want them to make it. But realistically speaking, I don't think that's real. But Elijah, thank you
yeah.
for hopping on with us, man.
Thank
We
you, Elijah. It was
appreciate it.
God,
awesome to
thanks for
see you,
you
talk to
having
you.
me. I'll Yeah, I'll definitely come back whenever you guys need me to. Like, thank you very much for
Definitely.
this. This was very fun.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you guys,
Thank you
and you
for
guys doing a
hopping
great
on,
job.
man.
You guys doing a
Appreciate it.
great job. I gotta give you guys that. Nick,
Thank you. Thank you.
we've
Thank
been
you.
friends for a long time, but you guys are doing a really great job. I'm proud of you
Thank
guys,
you, man.
and thank you guys for having me.
Thank you.
Next time hopefully we can get me and Cosenza. Yo, we can go at it. That would be funny as
Oh,
heck.
that
But
would be a fun show. A
that'll
little
be funny.
reunion. That'd
But
be awesome.
yeah, a little reunion. That'll be
There you
fun.
go.
But yeah, guys, thank you guys
There you
so
go.
much for this. I really appreciate it. Whenever you guys need me to come on, I'm more than welcome to support. And nothing else.
Definitely.
I watch you guys I try to watch you guys like every time, even if I don't get to catch you live, I watch the replays just to watch you guys. Like, you guys are doing a good job.
We appreciate the love, man, and thank you for hopping on.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Soon.
Yeah. All right, guys, y'all take it easy. Stay safe. Tell your family stay safe.
Yes, you and your family too. Stay safe, all right?
All right, guys. I'll see you guys. Thanks again, man.
You got it.
No problem.
See you.
Bye. That was awesome.
Yes.
Shouts out to Elijah for coming on.
Yes. That was great, man. You had a little bit of high school reunion there with him. You talked some soccer, you talked some hockey. So thank you, Elijah, again for hopping on. Hopefully we get a better signal next time because the signal was kind of choppy. So but that was great. I'm happy he came on with us. Speaking of happiness or lack thereof, you ready to get it? You
What
ready
a
to get into this?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. I've been doing this a while, I'm kind of good at it. How do you guys feel about the report saying LeBron and the Lakers want to?
Uh-oh. Are we getting into this?
Dude, you're 6'6", 260. Are you kidding me with that garbage? That's garbage. Get him more foul calls. You're bigger than half the league. If anything, you should be used to. Listen, is he hard to referee? Yes, he's hard to referee. But you don't got to complain about it. Don't complain about it. Go to the referees, be a man, and try to.
True, AJ.
That right there is why. Just that right there. See, but Michael had the refs where he would go up to the ref and be like, "Hey, yo, he hit me. Call that next time." He would never go to the media. He would leave it to Phil. This is where Frank Vogel take the $25,000 fine. Take the fine. Stick up for your player. Now, I wonder if the league is going to fine LeBron, and if the league says, "Hey, well, you got to get fined for those comments." But look, the NBA in general is soft. If you breathe on somebody wrong, they're going to call a foul. So I can't take none of it seriously because you touch somebody the wrong way, it's a foul. You breathe on somebody wrong, it's a foul. The league it's soft. And I love the NBA, but as the great Kobe Bryant once said, these dudes soft like Charmin. So they got to man up. Speaking of manning up, okay. Will you allow me the floor for just 2 seconds, Big Dog, because I have to say this.
Right.
I know everybody's talking about Trevor Lawrence and we need to draft Trevor Lawrence and Trevor Lawrence is the savior of the New York Jets and Trevor Lawrence. Here's the problem. Wasn't Adam Gase brought in here to do with Sam Darnold what you're going to be asking him to do with Trevor Lawrence in a year? Wasn't that why Adam Gase was brought in here to begin with? So what's the difference whether he does it with Sam Darnold or Trevor Lawrence? You're still going to be with bad ownership. You're still going to be a coach that is incompetent. You're still not going to be good at your job. So why ruin another QB? Just to say you can add it to the mantle of ruined QBs that you've coached, which includes Ryan Tannehill, who looks now like a competent NFL quarterback? Are you kidding me? So we're just gonna give up on Sam Darnold like we didn't call him the native son, like we didn't treat him like he was God.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Big Dog. Go ahead. I just wanted to ask that question. Go ahead. I want to hear this. Go ahead.
you know, I've been thinking about it after these first two horrendous games. I've been thinking about this for years being a Jet fan, but since we drafted Darnold and the discussions we've had, the discussions I've talked with James about, my dad about, my uncle, anyone who's a Jet fan or just follows football and knows Jet history. And it's just gone to the point, and you brought this, we were talking about this the other day on the show, because I recalled early in the week on the K show, one of the shows on the radio, and when he sounds deflated, when Jet fans like that have been fans for 30, 40, 50 years, any long period of time, and they just sound so dead, done, tired, sick of this
garbage. Go ahead, garbage.
Moronic, dysfunctional franchise of a team. And you put all your hard-earned money into them year after year after year. And the Jets do the same thing year after year after year. I mean,
what's my favorite saying? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing.
Same thing over. I mean, forget all the moments, because we know they've had moments. But I'm saying organizationally, the things they do, they'll fire a coach but keep the GM, or keep a coach, fire the GM, or the owner the other day. We trust in Gase. He's a genius. A genius? I don't know where you've been. If you even watch football, watch any of your own team's games. I don't know if you watched any of Gase's games as a Dolphin coordinator. And the whole Peyton Manning thing, again, we've mentioned it many times, but it's so idiotic at this point to even think he had any influence on that offense. I don't care what anybody would tell me. Even if they coach football or a football analyst. Almost, I'm going to sound like Don here, but we've been... Yeah, we had a show today, Skip. Sorry, I forgot to text you the link. My bad. But me and you, we're fans of football. We're, late 20. We've been watching football a long time. Not 30, 40, but a long time. We've grew up with Peyton Manning. Do you really think, especially at that stage in his career, that Adam freaking Gase had anything to do with his success in Denver? Or any offensive coordinator, for that matter? And you were telling me before the show, and I've heard the numbers we all have, and watched the games as well. Tannehill in Miami stunk. Yes, you could say he was injured. Okay, they did make the playoffs in his first season, but lost in the first round. But the next 2 years, they were garbage. His numbers, right? Garbage. Now with Tennessee, and yes, Derrick Henry helps, but still.
Right. If you look at his numbers, he went from 4,208 yards to 2,995 yards. And then he went down, and then he went down to 1,000. Got the numbers in front of me. Hold on one second. So yeah, he went from 2,995 yards to 1,179 yards under Adam Gase, and that's a steep fall from 4,208 yards the year before Adam Gase got there.
I could coach the Jets offense if I wanted to. If I could, I'd coach the Jet offense better than Adam Gase. You could.
I've never thought about this, but can we play conspiracy theory for a second on this show? Can we play around with this theory, this idea? Can we do this a minute? Because I have a good conspiracy theory, and I don't know where you sit on this. Could it be that Jet ownership is backing him and saying, We believe in you, Adam. We believe in you, Adam. We believe in you, Adam. But all behind the scenes trying to get him out the door. Could that be a play where they say, "Oh, his
It
job's
could
safe"?
be.
We
I
think
mean, they
he's
might just say all that stuff to the media because they kind of have to. But I mean, to say
right.
he's a genius, you don't have to go that far. You can maybe say we like it, like make all
Oh,
this stuff.
by the way, you spent $14.5 million on Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell probably not going to play till like week 7. I'm just
And
throwing
he
that out
got
there.
him hurt. He put him back in that game. Even when Bell went to him complaining about his hamstring hurt. And yet, Gay still put him back in the game knowing that.
Sure.
And then not trusting Sam Darnold to audible at the line of scrimmage. How do you not let him do that?
Which brings me back to my original point. If you don't trust the quarterback in his 3rd year, when you're supposed
What
to
are we
be seeing
doing
growth
here?
and development, what are you going to do with Trevor Lawrence? Because that's like learning all over again. That's like rebuilding all over again.
Right.
That's
And it
like
sounds nice to bring – I'm sorry to cut you off, but to bring in a new coach and GM, that sounds cute. It's nice. It's la fairy tale land. And then to have Trevor Lawrence. But you still have the same incompetent ownership of this.
Right.
Of this. You could bring in any quarterback.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. You could draft Trevor Lawrence. You can, like, at this point, and with Sam Darnold, listen, do we want to see, should we see more in his 3rd year? I believe so. But you can't put all of the pressure, all the blame on him. For certain things, okay, but not everything. A lot of it's got to go in the case. A lot of it's got to go in the front office or the owners. They didn't, and I love Joe Douglas, but how do you not draft more receivers for this kid? How do you not go out and spend money? Now, of course, don't get me wrong, the O-line is important. That's what they needed. Although the offensive line during 2 games hasn't really played all that great, but that's another issue.
I wouldn't say it's not Darnold's fault because he's not showing me that he. It's not Darnold's fault, but Darnold has to show you that he's growing and developing a little bit as a quarterback.
Yeah, and that's just frustrating that he doesn't have room to grow in this offense.
Right. That's because they're not letting him. That's because everything is controlled by Adam Gates. Where if you look at most NFL quarterbacks at this point, you should be able to audible at the line, see your protection scheme, see what you're going to do different, see if you see somebody getting off the line early, or see if you see the corner playing down or the safety playing down. At this point, he should be able to differentiate what he sees.
And I believe he can, but he's not being allowed to do anything else.
And that's a big problem. That right there is a bigger problem than what we'd like to admit. When you as the head coach, as he's not grown, it all plays a part. And that's why, as much as we want to sit, like, look, you think Bill Belichick loves the fact that he has an unconventional quarterback like Cam Newton? No, he doesn't love it. He doesn't love it, but he's allowing Cam Newton to be Cam Newton. If you don't allow the kid to be who he is and you don't allow him to grow, then what are we doing here?
And the kid has talent and potential, but he's not being allowed to, let it loose or let it show.
But again, that goes back to if you draft Trevor Lawrence and if you make this move and you say to yourself, we're going to take Trevor Lawrence, and it goes back to that point, you draft Trevor Lawrence, you're starting basically from scratch. You're redoing the whole process all over again. So tell me where in the annals of good ideas that's a good idea, because I'd love to hear somebody give me any sort of indication that drafting a quarterback who, by the way, is very well coached and with Dabo Swinney at Clemson, that coming to New York is going to be good for this kid. I don't understand that. I don't understand why coming to New York helps this kid. Where does it help him? How do you get better? And how do you sit there and tell your front office, oh, believe in me, I'm a genius, I can handle it? Can you really? Can you really? And just to say, did you hear the comment made by McDougal, the guy you just picked up, saying that you guys aren't practicing hard enough during the week? You guys aren't practicing hard
They
enough.
don't want to
You're
play
not
for
putting
him.
anything into the.
They all
Are
hate.
you
It's like
kidding
Miami
me?
2.0. They all hate him, and they're all going to be asking to get traded. I'm sure of it.
If they're not doing it behind the scenes already,
Right. I mean, 10 years since this team's made the playoffs. In 10 years, we've had 13 different starters.
Wow.
I mean, one winning season in the last 10 years, and you went 8-8 twice in 2011 and 2013. That's bad. That's horrendous.
And then
only
I just
won
don't
the
understand.
division twice in your whole history.
Yeah, when you told me that, I was like,
You're like, what?
I'm like, no, you're kidding, right? You're like, no. I'm like, you're kidding me, right? You're pulling my leg, you're ribbing me, as they say in wrestling. You're not serious, are you? And that's it. You said it with straight face, and I'm sitting there like,
right since the merger.
Oh my Lord. Help. Somebody help this man. Help him, please. And then, when you hear Jet fans so dejected, where they don't want to even talk about it, where it's just like, whatever it is, because they're going to screw this next one too. That's not good. When you start to lose the fan base, that's not good. When the fan base was already halfway out the door, and then you got this guy pushing them all the way out, were you the biggest Jet fan I know, you're probably like, nah, another Sunday, another loss, another annoying Sunday. It sucks that it has to be that way, but unfortunately,
maybe
it feels like
it takes to drive the fan base away for a while. Maybe that. I mean, again, that's probably a pipe dream to even think that, but who knows?
No, but honestly, during the middle of a pandemic, it probably doesn't matter anyway because there's no fans in the building. Honestly, I can see a scenario in which the Jets take to themselves, let's not even do anything right now. Let's just let him coach this team, and then let's see what happens after the pandemic's done. But if you got players already like McDougal, who just got here a couple weeks ago, already voicing their displeasure and their frustrations, that's not good because this guy just got here.
And Sam Darnold said that to the media about him not being able to audible at the line.
Which is pretty telling because these guys don't tell the media anything. So if you're telling the media that, then you already know that there's trouble in Denmark, as they like to say. This is not good. This is not good. Just to think that you're going to call this guy a genius and you're going to let him ride out the contract, this is not good. But once the money stops flowing out of the Johnsons' pockets, then we'll see a change. But then a change to what? What are we changing to?
And they're rich anyway. They don't care.
But think about it. If you sold the Jets the amount of money you could make.
Steve Cohen. I'm just saying.
Nah, I don't know about Steve Cohen. How about Mark Cuban?
That would be nice. But he probably will never leave Dallas.
I mean, you can because football season's kind of when the NBA gets kind of revved up, so I could see it. But he got the money for
the Mavericks. You think or no?
No, Mark Cuban. No. He's gonna be the Maverick owner at 90. He loves you. You see him at the games, he's going mental. He's gonna be the Mavs owner at 90 on a walker. Let's go, Mavs!
I wish I could own the Jets.
Oh. We'd actually be watching some competent football.
I think we would too. And you as the GM, name your price. I'll let you do all the football stuff.
I'll take like 6-7 million. I won't be too expensive. Just it's beyond baffling. It's beyond baffling, and it's sad because you have a fan base that really cares. The same thing with the Mets fans. Like, this is why having Cohen is a good thing, because that guy understands the struggle. He cares. He's not just gonna mail it in. He's gonna give it all he's got. Whether they win or not, that remains to be seen. But he's gonna give it all he's got. Unlike the Johnsons, who seem like, whatever happens, happens.
He loves the team.
Doesn't it feel like that? It feels like you're whistling in a graveyard being a Jet fan. Like, what's gonna go wrong next? Like,
yeah,
just. I'm praying for you, Jets Nation, because you need it. Anyway, that's gonna wrap us up. Elijah, thank you for hopping on.
Yes, thank you.
That was great. We're gonna be back earlier than expected tomorrow, but we'll give you an official time when we both know the official time. But we're gonna be on a little earlier due to, some scheduling conflicts. So we'll give you the official time tomorrow, and we'll go from there. But thank you guys for hopping on with us, and enjoy the rest of your evening. And Big Dog, we'll talk again soon, my friend.
Yes. Good night.
Night.